Hi and welcome. So today I have my Halloween tag. I don't normally do themed like this, and so I'm just kind of winging it. I don't really have a whole lot planned, and I'm just gonna see where it goes. I pulled out a bunch of stuff that kind of looks like it could be spooky or something like that. And so I'm just taking those things and seeing what comes out. So this is a stamp. It's kind of a Gothic stamp from Tim Holtz. It's the faded type stamp set. And there's actually two here that would have worked well, but I chose the kind of Gothic one. And I stamped with some Versamark, and I'm going to use two different colors of, one powder, embossing powder, and one embossing glaze. I'm using the Tim Holtz Seedless Preserves glaze, and then some black powder. And I'm just kind of putting them in different spots so that both colors will show up in the text. Now I'm kind of careful about using two different embossing powders because it's easy to mix them up. So I throw away the one sheet because I do not want any purple in my black. I've done that once and had to toss almost a whole container of black because I dumped some white in it and it just was impossible to get all of it out. And you'd think it wouldn't matter, but yeah, when I was embossing black, I'd have little white specks. So I'm a lot more careful these days and don't have more than one open and won't dump from one sheet to another. So I have my black and my purple, my seedless preserves on there through that stamp, and I'm going to emboss it with my embossing gun. I'll probably clean up a little bit first because I hate having embossing powder on my mat and working on it. It just is a pet peeve of mine. So now I'm going to emboss it. You really could use anything that's spooky here. I only have one Halloween stamp set and one Christmas stamp set. I love Halloween really, and I love Christmas, but I'm not really great at doing themed like that. I don't love it. So I don't do much. So this is my obligatory Halloween tag. And I might do some colors. Like Christmas, I might do more colors that might be in the season. and that. This package of the Tim Holtz moon mask comes with 3 sizes. I tried out the smallest one, but it's just too small. So this is the medium. There's one even larger. So I'm wanting it to take up a large portion of the tag, and I'm coming out of the mask with some pumice stone. So I want my sky to be kind of grayish. I am going to add a little purple just to kind of give it, to bring more of the purple in. And I will also use the pumice stone for the face of the moon. And you can move it to however you want the face. And I'm doing a lighter touch because I don't want it to be quite as dark as the sky. I'm going to bring the mask portion of it back in and add purple around the edge of the moon. So maybe like it's glowing purple, or I don't know if there's such a thing as a purple moon. I know they have gold moons, red moons. And this is wilted violet. I only have a couple purples. I don't really do purple much. I have seedless preserves and wilted violet. And I thought the wilted violet would be a closer pick to what I wanted the sky to be. Now, I'm going to be using a digital download bird. I've had this bird for a while. I just haven't thought of what to do with him. Actually, the digital download comes with several of these birds, different looks of them. And I like this one a lot, but I start cutting out the feet because I often leave the feet so they don't get ripped up. And actually, you could actually set him on his body and just not see the feet. And I'm trying to think of something that I want him to be standing on, because I really didn't have, I mean, I had a branch, but it was like too big. And then I thought, well, what about just something straight? Do I have like a bone? So I went into my one Halloween stamp set, and there was just a single bone there. So I decided he's going to be sitting on a bone coming from the left. Like, yeah, that happens all the time, right? So I'm just going to stamp him with some StazOn ink, because that is a black. If I used the archival ink, the only one I have dark enough would be the graphite, and that's not black enough. So I'm using StazOn black. And I start to cut out the feet of the bird, and I pause my camera just so you don't have to watch the whole cutting of the feet. And I forgot to turn it back on immediately. So I do miss a step on the camera, but when we get there, I'll show it to you. Okay, so I went around the edges with some scorched timber and it darkened it up, and it looks a little smoother on my piece than it does on camera. You can see the edge an awful lot. And I also splattered some water with my little fan brush. So I did those two things while off camera. I apologize. And the splatter was just water, and I rolled it off with my paper towel. And now I'm doing the ribbon. I am going to do one more step on the tag before I finish off with the ribbon, but I'm using the wilted violet and scorched timber for my ribbon. And I'm getting ready to glue on my bird. And I thought the background needed just a little bit more. I didn't really want to do a lot of ephemera or anything. So I had this stencil that I cut on my Cricut. Maybe you have a bat stencil or something, maybe even a bat stamp that you could use. But I'm just going to use the stencil and some black soot distress ink because they're going to be in the background, or I want them to appear to be in the background. And I'm going to do them coming from below and then up above and across the moon a little bit. I know Tim Holtz also has bat stencils, but I had this one, so I'm using it. Use what you have. Okay, so that is the tag. I'm going to add my ribbon, and that's it. If you have not subscribed, I invite you to do that. If you like my Halloween tag, give me a thumbs up or a comment. Either way, I hope you have an awesome day. Happy Halloween, and I'll see you next time.